Okay guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go into variables. Don't let don't let the terms scare you. They're not as hard as they look. I'm going to go over a few important concepts with you that I think will make this fairly easy for you. So let me go down here, and we're going to first take a look. Actually, the first thing we're going to take a look at is you have to declare what the variable is. Um, it's very, it's extremely important to understand. Integer, and here's how you declare them. Integer x equals 5, integer y equals 6. Now the integer, as you may remember from math class, is a whole number. It won't accept anything but a whole number. It won't accept 5.1 or anything like that. It has to be a whole number to be declared as an integer. Double, just like it says, it stores floating point numbers with decimals. So the decimal is recognized, and it can calculate, it can perform more complex calculations. So naturally, if you're going to make a program that divides, you obviously want to use you want to declare things as doubles. For adding, you add 10 plus 10, you're getting 20. No matter what, if you input an integer, you're getting an integer out if you're adding, or if you're subtracting. Or actually, if you're multiplying, same thing. You have to put a decimal in to get a decimal out. No matter what you do, 5 times 6 is 30. 9 times 9 is 81. If you don't add a decimal into your input, then you won't get a decimal out. But if you're dividing, what's 11 divided by 5? 2.111 or something like that. So if you're dividing, you would definitely want to declare the variable as a double. Char stands for character, and it stores a single character, such as A or B. They are surrounded by the single quotes, and a string stores an entire word. String values are surrounded by double quotes, and we've played with Hello World before. Boolean stores a value with two states, true or false. So let's play around with this a little bit, and hopefully this will help you understand. Okay, so right now, here's my little program. Here is my function, and what I'm telling it to do is, I have to change it back. I'm telling it to add x plus y. X equals 5, y equals 6, and they are declared as integers, all three of them. So the answer obviously is going to be 11, and now look, x plus y is the sum, so what we want to see is sum out. We don't want the sum to be the output in our compiler window, and then return 0 ends the function. Okay, so let's try this. 11. It worked. Okay, now let's try this. Let's do 5.1. Still 11. Shouldn't that be 11.1 now? I can't recognize what's after the decimal because it is an integer. So let's change this to double. Now, the sum is deemed as an integer, so what's going to happen when we run this? Still only 11. Okay, let's make the sum also a double. And notice it's not throwing an error, which I feel is kind of odd. You'd think it would, but it must just overlook it. So now that everything is a double, we run it. We get our 11.1. So that's the importance to declaring your variables, appropriately. It could really mess you up if you don't. So that's the difference between integer and double. Let's go look at W3 schools a little bit more and see what else they have for us. Okay, this is pretty common sense. Cout is I am, then the age, my age, which has been declared. When something is declared, it won't say my age, it'll say what it is equal to. So I am 35 years old is what this will say. And, well, here, instead of copying it, we'll just go over to try it myself, and here's what the output will be with this as the program, the function being that. Now, what would happen if we changed the declaration there, the variable? My age was not declared in the scope. Did you mean my AE? See, it recognized that. And these are case sensitive, by the way, so if you change that to a lowercase a, it would not work. What else do we have in here? Okay, create a variable named my num and assign it the value of 50. Okay. So what do you think? Double, integer, string, character? It's 50. So we'll use integer. My. Watch me get it wrong. Yeah. Okay. So that's easy enough. We declared a variable. We named it my number and assigned the value of 50 to it. Do we want to do the next exercise? Display the sum of 5 plus 10 using two variables x and y. Okay, so y is declared as 10. Oh, okay. So they just want us to add lowercase x equals 5. Is it going to show us the answer? Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and try the next. I want to make sure that they're not real complicated. Okay, x equals 5, y equals 10. This can be an integer. Okay, so you would have to put a variable here, declare it, and then it can be an integer because these are both integers, and then your cout would be, these two match. I want you guys to try that one. Okay, and you guys should be able to handle this one too. Let me know if you don't get it or you're not. I want to make sure that you guys are understanding how to use this. We're just doing basic mathematical functions right now. So I'll go ahead and get out of the exercises right now. And those aren't for a grade, but I do want you to make sure that you can do it. It's important. Let's see what else we have in here. Declaring multiple variables. And we just worked with multiple variables in that last exercise. I feel like we put things out of order, but that's okay. This should make sense. So we're declaring the integer. Oh, I see the difference. They're not declaring these separately. They're declaring all three of these at one time, rather than having integer x equals 5, integer y equals 6, integer z equals 50. So to declare more than one variable of the same type, obviously, this can't be a 6.1, or you would need to declare that separately as a double. You can use a comma separated list. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think we need to go into that any deeper. Just, you know what? I'm going to add that to the notes. And then we have to go through identifier. All C++ variables must be identified with unique names. It's important to understand you can't use anything in the name library, or it'll confuse the compiler. The unique names are called identifiers. They can be short names like X or Y, or more descriptive names like age, sum, or total volume. Here's an example of how a more descriptive name makes more sense than just an M. The general rules, they can contain letters, digits, underscores. They can't have any spaces. Names must begin with a letter or an underscore, not a number. Okay. Names are case sensitive. This is what I was talking about earlier. They can't contain white spaces or special characters. And here's another thing that is important. It cannot contain reserve words like C++ keywords, such as int for integer. That cannot be used as a name. I don't need to give some examples. Okay. I have an idea for the assignment. Constraints. Okay. This is just if you don't want something to be changeable. Constraints. Okay, constrain the integer my number 15. The number will always be 15. It cannot be changed. So my number equals 10. If you try to type that in, error, the assignment of read-only variable has already been assigned to this number. The idea that there's 60 minutes in an hour would be something you might want to use a constraint for. The idea that there are 12 inches in a foot might be something you want to use a constraint for. That way, when you are, coding that is set in stone. It doesn't get changed. And it doesn't mess a bunch of stuff up. Okay, so that is variables. Now, here is what we want to do. We want to take the minutes per hour, and we want to basically I saw that earlier and I thought it would be a good idea for this. Here it is, right here. Make it minutes per hour and make the cout say my car goes, and then use your declared variable to give the speed, 60, and then miles per hour. So this number here should be changed to 60. This should be changed to 60, and this should be changed to miles per hour. I'm sorry, this should read 60, but it should be changed to miles per hour. This should be changed to miles per hour, and this should be changed to 60. As far as your wording goes, my car goes, this will read 60 miles per hour. And see if you guys can pull that off for your assignment, and I will post a separate video describing what exactly I'm looking for, and just take a screenshot of your output and submit that for grading.